Hello, my name's Anna and I'm currently going into my third year studying biology at the University of Southampton. So generally in school during GCSEs you're in a class size of about 30 with one teacher, and the teacher normally shows you some slides at the front and then you work through examples during your time in the class. Whereas in lectures at university, in your first year you'll tend to be in bigger lecture theatres, so there may be up to 200 students in the room at a time, and the teacher is actually a lecturer and they don't really interact with you. They just stand at the front next to a PowerPoint and they run through the slides with you, and then you're expected to, after class, go away and do some background reading. Personally, I find that contacting lecturers after the lecture has taken place is really helpful if I need anything clarified, but of course I'll look through textbooks before to see if I can answer any questions that I have myself. Sometimes it might be quite hard to keep up, but some lectures are recorded on a system called Panopto, so you can go back and rewatch them. But I always try and record information that isn't on the slides but is something that the lecturer says as an extra. So in biology, in my second year, I did have some tutorials and seminars. So they basically are a smaller group size that are with the lecturer, and they go through something, so it might be going through a project that's due in a couple of weeks. It's often easier to ask questions here because it is a smaller class size, so it can be like school, about 30 students. And to prepare, they usually send you some information of what they're going to cover, so if you bring any questions you may have to this session, they'll be answered then. So after your lectures, you're expected to go away and do background reading, so that might be reading references that they've linked in the PowerPoints, or it might be going away and writing down notes from textbooks. Different modules have different set amount of hours that they split up for different things, so it might be 30 hours over the semester with lectures, and then it will say about 5 to 10 hours per week of independent study. With biology, you'll often have labs to go to, so you often write up reports that are due a couple of weeks afterwards. You can also be set essays if you choose more written modules. Personally, I like writing down notes into a condensed form, so maybe on flashcards, and I tend to study best in a quiet place, like by myself. So I did find that during my first year, I often went back to my student accommodation and did it on my desk there. And then during my second year, I also did that, but my room was a bit smaller, so I often went to the library and worked in a computer room.